Welcome, angry faithful. There was actually something that happened this weekend. The Iran got bombed by the U.S. and Israelis and other countries. Basically, to put it short, got bombed by the U.S. and Israelis. And put it short. Let me make sure I got all. Make sure I got everything up and going. There we go. And okay, comments are up. There's a lot of this unpleasant trees that's been going around, especially with the Democratic Party, some Republican parties. But here's the thing. This is the first part we're going to go with. Did Donald Trump do the right thing? Or more or less, is he allowed to do what he just did? And I've been putting this up, and I finally decided, hey, it's been 24 hours. We'll go ahead and set this up. Under the U.S. Constitution, the president serves as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Article 2 and Section 2, while Congress holds the power to declare war. That's specific on that one. Congress is allowed to declare war, and there's a reasoning for that. However, there's specific requirements for notifying Congress about military action stems from the War Power Resolution of 1973. 50 USC squirrely 1541-1548. A federal law enacts to balance these powers to ensure congressional oversight, which what happened is he did advise 8 of the top congressional people in Congress, and only 7 replied. Key provisions rely to notify Congress. The president must submit a written report to Congress within 48 hours of inducing a U.S. armed forces into hostilities or into a situation where immediate involvement in hostility declare notification, which he did. This report must detail the circumstances necessary in the actions. We'll get to that. The eliminated scope and duration of the hostilities or involvement. We don't have any of that information as of right now. The constitutional or legislative authority under which the actions is taken. We actually will go over that. Without congressional authority, such as a declaration of war or specific solidarity approval, U.S. forces must be withdrawn within 60 days. We'll get into that too. With a possibility 30-day extension if the president certifies it is necessary for safe removal. This applies to ongoing U.S. military strikes on Iran, which began in February 28, 2026. The president is thus required to notify Congress approximately 1:39 a.m. on March 1st. God. As of the current time. There is no public confirmation or such notification consistent with the recent of the operation. President has historically complied with the reporting requirements in similar situation, which we can't really get into that because we don't know the forwarding of that. Now, the president has historically complied with the report requirements in similar situations, though the resolution consistently has been debated without being overturned. Now, saying that, let me go ahead and get rid of that and put that in separate views. Now, he did all the stuff that he needed to do. Everybody that was on X for the past day or two, they're saying, "Oh, we're going to have a wartime pact. We have to get this deal done and everything to go through." They're saving face. They knew it was happening. Well, some of them did. And in doing that, they just want to say their piece so they can have their constituents say the same thing. And this is going to take a while. I got some other stuff that I have to deal with. But come on. There we go. And go ahead and do that. There we go. That works. Now, saying that, they are upset because he's doing it in the right way. And they have no reason why to combat this, basically. But it's the way the political matchup is going to happen. It sucks. And I'd like to reemphasize what happened back in 2003. The elderly was supposed to have free health care. People forget about that. Bush was setting everything up through Congress, got the bill to go through, but someone put into the bill that the free health care for elderly will also be with children. Couldn't afford that, so George Bush had to veto it. After it was vetoed, Nancy Pelosi came out saying, I don't know why he didn't put his stamp from the approval on this and he vetoed the bill. I guess he doesn't like children. That's a political escape on that. Now, as of right now, another thing that has happened, we're going to go a little bit on Austin, which this is a reporter in Austin. Basically, what he got, he was getting a text. He got a text saying that they don't want to cover this anymore. It's too much. Can't do it because it's. You could say it's part of the narrative, but TV station, and this is me just being kind of in the same. I understand that certain reports get knocked down, but this is kind of ridiculous. Austin Reporter was told not to focus on this, which this has been happening everywhere. Everybody is saying, we didn't vote for this. I can't believe Trump is going to war again. I thought Trump said no more wars. They also did. Thank you. But they also had another shooting in Austin too. I was going to get to that. We'll get into the Austin area and the Texas area, but they let me bring that up. You're forcing my hand there, boy. I don't like it. Here we go. Come on, you can do this. But it's been happening quite a bit here lately. This is another thing in Austin. Sorry, I'm having a head cold. Breaking terrifying footage released of the moment Islamic single terrorist began mass shooting at an Austin bar, killing several people. He wore Allah proudly while doing it. I do not want any of these people left in our country. And this is Eric Daughtry saying this, so don't bear with me. Let me go ahead and look up. But yeah, it happened in Houston area. Let me bring this Closest view. Okay. I didn't know there was a shooting in Houston. Well, he also did a proper. He was wearing a Property of Allah shirt. Surprise, surprise. Let's see if I can get a little bit more information on this. I'm looking up at the click to Houston police. Yeah, they have it. The gunman was identified as 53-year-old. We're gonna let Stephanie Hawking have this.
Niaga Diang.
Nidia Dian. But that was a statement in Homeland Security. He first entered the U.S. in 2000 on a B-2 tourist visa and became a lawful permanent resident 6 years later after marrying a U.S. citizen, according to DHS. He became naturalized U.S. citizen in 2013. The department said, and he was from Senegal, according to multiple people briefed on the investigation who spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to publicly discuss the investigation. Indicators on the gunman and his vehicle led FBI to look into a possible terrorist, said Alex Duran, the acting agent in charge of the FBI San Antonio office. It is too early to determine that. Now, this has actually been happening. Oh, you were talking about well, no, they actually I think I got rid of that. Let me go back. Let me get this. Let me see if I can find it. This is coming 2 hours ago. No, that was actually the guy. That was the guy. So they just put it out like a couple of hours ago, if that helps you. Now, okay, let's get back to what I was talking about. No, not going with that. And like I was saying, a lot of the Democrats, but one Democrat actually said differently.
This war is not about the Iranian people. It's about
others like Thomas Massey, who wrote this: acts of war unauthorized by Congress. The U.S. is attacking Iran, according to the AP. What is your response to Massey and to your colleagues who don't agree with this?
That's bizarre. I'd like to remind my colleague over in the House that Iran massacred 30,000 of their own people right now. This war is not about the Iranian people. It's about this poisonous regime. And that's why I'm proud to stand with our military. I'm proud to stand with Israel, too. I might be a Democrat, but in this specific case, the president is absolutely correct to do these kinds of actions. And now we have Israel's back. And now that's why it's entirely the path for peace in that region. How many treaties, how much negotiation? I never thought they would work. Iran has only ever responded to these kinds of things. And now here we are right now, and they have the opportunity, real peace, and to change their way, committed to trying to destroy Israel and destabilizing the entire region.
Okay. Yeah, that's the only Fetterman actually being reasonable. So not everybody on either side is trying to say that the president is wrong with this. Now, the reasoning why we're doing this, the talks for the nuclear program for Iran came with a close. They weren't having it, Iran. So United States and Israel went in and started bombing Iran. But the nuclear program investment, Iran refused U.S. demands to reduce its nuclear program, which the U.S. Deemed a threat to the region and American homelands. Well, we just saw that also this weekend too. That after the bombing, Qatar, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Kuwait, along with Israel. I didn't have anything with Egypt. I don't think Egypt got attacked. But all those states around there, or countries, got attacked. Some of them houses U.S. Bases, and some of them don't. But this is also a retaliation of the massacre that Iran military was actually attacking its citizens for the protests, since the protests have been happening since late January. So it took us a long time to actually help out, so to speak, but I'm glad that we did. I've been reporting on the Iran thing since it began because it just started small and it started rolling bigger and bigger, which I was hoping it to actually happen a little bit sooner, because I was actually afraid for the Iranian people being massacred again, because the religious governing body has a habit of actually doing that. So, but this is actually the breakdown of what happened from Saturday till today. On Saturday, February 28th, 2026 at 0200 hours, U.S. Israel. Sorry, I'm gassy today. U.S. and Israel forces launched a massive preemptive strike on Iran. Explosives rocked Tehran, Ifatan, Khemishtan, and Qajar. Government ministries and military facilities obliterated. The target, a direct strike, was carried out near the offices of the supreme leader, the Ayatollah, which there was another Ayatollah. He didn't last long either. Iranian state TV confirmed the blast. This was not a warning. It was a decapitation. Iran's desperate response. The Iranians Revolutionary Guard launched between. Let me get this over here. So if I see comments, since I'm not. Okay, there we go. A little bit better. Iran's Revolutionary Guard launched between 30 to 75 ballistic missiles at Israel. Sirens across the entire country. Hospitals moved patients underground. And Tel Aviv hit 31. Israel reported dead, but Israel's Iron Dome held the line. Damage to Iran. Over 1,000 Iranians killed, according to early reports. Internet access across Iran dropped to 54%. Mobile networks down. Airspace closed. The regime is going dark because they don't want the world to see what was happening. Basically, they turned everything off. The Middle East is burning. Bahrain, U.S. Naval Fifth Fleet headquarters hit by Iran. Smoke rising from Jafar. Abu Dhabi, UAE explosion confirmed. Smoked over the city. Kuwait explosions heard. Silence activity. Qatar intercepted 2 Iranian missiles mid-air. All residents ordered indoors. Qatar, Kuwait, and UAE, all airspace closed. Russia's warning. Not even going to try that guy's name. The peacemaker has once again shown his true colors. All negotiations in Iran were a cover operation, which they weren't. We were actually trying to do it diplomatically, but you know. But the reason why Russia has to say something is yet again political drama. It's more or less foreshadowing of what China did the same thing. They did a message too. Trump's message to Iranian people: the hour of your freedom is at hand. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. No president was willing to do what I am doing, willing to deny. Trump's message is to the Iraqi religious government: lay down your weapons and you have complete immunity, or face certain death. That was also in the message that happened today. This is not a military operation. This is a final chess move. The last pillar of deep state global network is crumbling. First, it was the cartels. Then it was the human trafficking rings. Now it's the regimes that funneled them all. Iran had funneled Hamas. It also funneled Hezbollah. And it was attacking American soldiers. And they were doing it through proxy war. Basically, Iran was having a proxy war with us, funneling money to terrorist organizations. They also funded ISIS and the attack on October 7th in Israel. Now, if you're saying it's like, no, that's not what happened. Think about it this way. It is the only reason why I could actually come with this kind of conclusion was the basic fact that Biden's administration gave back Iran $2 billion. And after the $2 billion came in, there was an attack on Israel. So. And after that, Iran was 90 days away from a nuclear weapon. Not anymore. Lion does not negotiate with snakes. He devours them. Now, let me get this closed up. There's a couple other things that I want to. Now, the statements between the other governing bodies that were attacked. I'm trying to do this as best as possible. Go ahead and I'll share this and I'll read it for you. Qatar strongly condemns targeting its territory and sister states, affirming its rights to respond. The states Qatar expresses its strong condemnation of targeting Qatar territories with Iranian ballistic missiles, concerning it to be a frigid violation of its national sovereignty, a direct infringement on its security and territorial integration. Sorry, it's really small. Let me try to get this a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay, there we go. A little bit better. Ministry of Foreign Affairs affirms that the state of Qatar reserves its full right to respond to the attacks in accordance with the provisions of international law and in a manner of proposal to the nature of the aggression in defense of its sovereignty and to protect its security and national interest. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs stressed that the state of Qatar has been and continues among the foremost advocate of dialogue with the Islamic Republic of Iran, considering calling for this approach as a optimal foundation for addressing differences and resoluting dispute through peaceful means, and for sparking the region of risk of escalation. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs affirmed the targeting of Qatar's territory is inconsensual with the principle of good neighborliness and cannot be accepted under the pretext or justification. However, the renewed targeting of its territories does not reflect good faith and threatening the foundation of understanding upon the billiard relationships between the two countries are based. That was Qatar. Now, let me get share this. Now, the Saudi Arabian Kingdom is the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia concerns denounces strongest terms and blatant Iranian aggression and the fragmented violation of sovereignty in the United Arab Emirates, the Kingdom of Bahrain and the State of Qatar, the State of Kuwait, and the Azmit Kingdom of Jordan. The kingdom affirms its full solidarity with and unwavering support for the brotherly countries and is readiness to place all its capabilities at the disposal in support of any measure they undertake. It also warns of the grave consequences resulting from the continued variation states' sovereignty and practical international law. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia calls on the international community to condemn these blatant attacks and to take all form measures necessary to confront Iran's violations that undermine the security and stability of the region. Now, let's go with. And this is the Ministry of Defense. Get this in here. Okay, the Ministry of Defense announces that the UAE today was subject to a blatant attack involving Iranian ballistic missiles. Nothing that UAE air defense systems dealt with the missiles with highly efficiency and successful interceptions. A number of missiles. Authorities in the UAE also handled the full of some missile debris in the residential areas, which resulted in some material damage. The fallen debris also resulted in one civilian's death of a Asian nationality. The authorities confirmed that the security situation in the UAE remains stable and that all concerns entities are in motion to develop around the clock. Ministry strongly condemns the attack, affirming the UAE chronologically rejection of any targeting of civilian objects, facilities, or national institution. It stressed that such acts condones a dangerous escalation and calorie act that threatens the safety of civilians and undermines stability. The ministry further states that the targeting represents a blatant violation of national sovereignty and international law, affirming that the UAE reserves its full right to respond to its escalation and take all necessary measures to protect its territory. Citizens, let me go ahead and show that. There we go. affirming that UAE reserves the full right to respond to the escalation and take all necessary measures to protect its territory, citizens, and residents, and to safeguard its sovereignty, security, and stability. The ministry affirms its full readiness and preparedness to deal with any threats, stressed that all necessary measures are being taken to firmly confront any attempts to undermine the country's security and stability. It adds that the safety of citizens, residents, visitors remain a top priority that cannot be compromised. The ministry urges the public to rely on official sources for information and to avoid spreading rumors or unverified reports. The ministry also urges the public to obtain information from official sources within the UAE and to avoid spreading rumors or unverified information. Well, they said that twice. All right. Trying to bomb. I get it now. That was okay. That was kind of funny. Yeah, and there's been a lot of those here lately. And this is the Mossad community. Disrupt capabilities, threatened U.S. personnel, Israel, and regional partners, restore difference after sustaining disabling activities, prevent escalation by addressing threats early, and reinforcement of alliance commits in regional security stability. Now, what's really sad is as soon as this happened, yeah, I got that. There's actually been a lot of those videos. You should look up. There's one that's Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, but it's Trump doing it on piano about the bombing of Iran. It's kind of funny. But another thing that happened as soon as this happened, I probably made a mistake with that. As soon as the morning, I guess they got a big bump in political banter money. This was New York City, and if you just check out the signs, they were adopted from the attack on Venezuela, saying no more wars. What they're doing is they're using these signs. It's right here. They're using it as stop the war, blah, blah, blah. Now, those signs were when we got Maduro. So they're basically reusing the same thing. Right now, there's no declaration of war because it hasn't gone through Congress. But here's another thing that I found interesting. And by the way, I'm just showing interesting things I found out from all yesterday. Pretty much combining everything into one moment. Now, here's another thing that the ambassador Tim Walz. Yeah, it has been. It has been. And you could thank the CIA for that. They're the ones that put him in power. I don't think they went with presidential consent because of that. There's a lot of theories on that, but I won't get into that today. But yeah, Iran's been peddling their terrorist attacks, and since the Ayatollah became in office, and they've been doing it for 50 years, and we've been trying to take it. And someone finally stood up and said, "No, we're not dealing with this anymore. Get this off." So, but here's something that Walt said. the U.S. Ambassador Mike Waltz had said, I'll say it again.
Lives. Hundreds of U.S. Marines in Lebanon, thousands of troops in Iraq. American hostage after hostage has suffered. Our ships fired upon dozens of times in the Red Sea. Iran has armed and financed militant organizations that undermine lawful governments and destabilize an already fragile region. In lives, hundreds of U.S. Marines and
Yeah, absolutely. The canal is actually open now. For how long, I don't know. Yeah. Another thing that was kind of funny is coming from yesterday. France, Germany, United Kingdoms, Canada, all trash. So like, no, we don't want this. No, we don't want this. As of today, each one of those countries actually said it was like, hey, we'll help out as best we possibly can. UK also said it was like, oh, we're not, you can't use any of your bases that you own to ship over to start this Iran thing. But now they're going, hey, use the bases. We're totally sorry. We didn't know that you were actually going to be able to do it so fast. Yeah, just ridiculous. Even Board George is, I found this thing. Board George said this on X. Wow, it's happening. Free Iran. I can't sleep. This is history, massive. God bless everyone in Iran and the U.S. military. Of course, I hate war, but this is liberation. And it actually absolutely is. What's really sad, crazy fact, I joined the Marbles because Hal North presented it himself. I'd rather go Army. Actually, as a prior service in the Air Force, I would go Air Force. So much easier. So much easier. I mean, they have special forces in the Air Force. You can be a combat controller or a pararescue. What's the other one? JTAC. I think JTAC is combat controller though. But and you can load C-130s, all kinds of stuff, and it's so much easier. You get so much benefits. But here's another thing that kind of freaked me out, and I'm still wondering if this was real or not. I highly doubt this, but this was shared by Syrian girl, and
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin.
okay,
Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulil Amin. Musulmanano o de Afghan de Bahadur Qom bacho.
okay, thank God. Okay, I thought this was real. God, AI is good. Basically, what it was saying is Al Qaeda was actually wanting Iran to fall. I knew it was fake. God, well, I was halfway hoping it was fake. But in other news, when they found out, this was exposed. Iran's $100 billion European empire. Let me get this over here so I can conversate with you guys at the same time. Yeah, dude, I was stuck at I was in the beginning of the war. I joined the service in 90. I joined the service in 98, got out in 2002. But I went to Kuwait and I've been to Bahrain. I really didn't go to Afghanistan. Also, I went to I've been all around Europe and everything, but I have to say this, that the people over there in the Middle East, a lot of people have like this stigma. Some of it's true, like the donkey stuff and the goats, basically farm animals. Anyways, that's real. But man, they just, most of the time when I was going through town and everything, they were just trying to I saying all the sands they suck. I'm from Texas. It wasn't much different. Like the heat and everything, everybody was like, "Oh, the heat is so bad." I was like, "This is the same as Texas." There are certain places that you go to that was just desolate, and especially like in Bahrain and Kuwait, it was just desolate. But there's some places that were just gorgeous, like Bahrain. They have this basically big building. It looks like a vault, and it's called their Gold City. And you can go in there and buy gold for basically by weight. That's one thing. One thing I loved about the Middle East was any gold purchase. Oh yeah, that was from Afghanistan. And I hate to say this right now, I would get checked up because, like, if you're in the winter months, the smell there was ferocious. From what I gathered from other people, they were saying is ferocious, and that was because they were burning feces to keep warm. So the air quality is horrible. But getting back to, they found out a lot of stuff. For decades, Iran's central bank ran massive laundering machine, dodging SWIFT. I don't know what SWIFT is. With shadow tanker fleets. Okay. The shadow tanker fleets and their front companies in Turkey, UAE, and right in the heart of the European. They've built a secret $100 billion offshore fortune stolen from their own starving people to bankroll Hamas, Hezbollah, and every proxy terrorist, which there's abundance of those. But Trump changed the game forever. Just days ago, on February 27th, 2026, OFAC slammed the hammer on two UK registered crypto scams. Zedek and Xanax, blacklisted for washing over $1 billion in IRGC dirty money. That's right. The regime was stockpiling $507 million in tender, basically US dollars, to prop up their collapsing rival, and activating a sleeper cell for chaos across the West. Trump froze those digital escape routes overnight. Boom, plan destroyed. The Swift dark bank Bear got caught off too after funneling $37 million in smuggled oil profits, staggered to the terrorists, while globalists cashed in at the Americans' gas pump. But there's also a part that will make their blood boil. Iran wasn't just arming jihadists; they were quickly buying up Europe like it was on sale, exposing now that Al-Shanar, the IRGC link crook behind the collapse of the Ayatollah, some bank. Get this real quick. Rage bait.
Aanda.
Ander Bank, sitting on a 400 euro military luxury empire, golf resorts in Macau, ski places, palaces in the Alps across Austria and Germany. These weren't investments; they were safe houses, slush funds, and bolt holes for the Ayatollah elites, ready to flee when the reckoning came. Laundered through European shell companies, protected by gutless EU bureaucrats who ignored UK sanctions until Donald Trump's 2026 executive order forcing their hand. The deep state buried this truth for years, letting the Mulans build a real estate fortress on stolen wealth from the while patriots fought for their. We'll go ahead and get that fixed, so you don't have to worry about watching this stuff. But Trump's masterstroke was the 25% globalist tax. Yeah, I believe that. Basically, what was that? Any national bank cozy up with Tehran blood money. Failed incest scheme, blood by Germany and France sellouts now face crushing tariffs on everything they ship to America. No more two-faced games. Choose Tehran or Washington. Most of the scrambling are picking up. Most are scrambling to pick the winner. Timeline of the purge hits hard. September 2025, Trump snaps back at UN sanctions, blindsiding the elites. This isn't just about Iran, from what this guy says. It's the death knell for the globalist middleman who sold out America for decades. Trump isn't winning one war; he's reclaiming financial sovereignty for patriots everywhere. The corrupt system is collapsing. The Ayatollah are panicking. Well, they're dead. And their European enables are next. The storm is here. Stage villain best to is yet to come. So call me chicken shit in a world where AI hears you wearing high heels better than the Clinton. That's funny. But get rid of some of this stuff. But this is actually what is playing right now on the news in Iran.
Devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close within your reach. This is the moment for action. America is backing you with overwhelming strength and devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close within your reach. This is the moment for action. Do not let it. Is backing you with overwhelming strength and.
So that it's propaganda, but for our side. Sorry, I gotta. All right, let me go ahead. But yeah, they're, mind you, they're bot influencers. And here's something that some of them actually found.
Directly or indirectly.
All right, let's go ahead and back this up.
You're about to understand which Americans are traitors and which ones are patriots. So look at this. A terrorist in the Middle East is saying that these school children in Iran were killed by Israelis and Americans. Okay? Then Carrie Boiler, a useful idiot American at best, at worst, she's getting paid directly or indirectly from a country like Qatar. She basically calls Israel evil. However, the IRGC acknowledged that this was an Iranian missile. It was a misdirected Iranian missile. Will Carrie ever apologize? No, she doesn't need to. What is Israel going to do? Fire her for defamation of character so she can just keep lying? And besides, even if she admitted she made a mistake, the damage was done, right? Whether it's Carrie, MTG, who cheated on her husband, who cheated her constituents in her Georgia state when she did insider trading and made millions of dollars, okay? Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Comic Dave Smith. At what point do you say, okay, they're grifters. They're using their free speech. They're asking questions. It's the Jews, 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 Jews. Okay, we get it. Trump, Trump, Trump. Okay, we get it. You trash Trump, you trap Jews. We get it. But at what point do you as Americans say, hey, wait a minute. When we're attacking, that precise moment we're attacking, why are you not on the side of America, Americans? Why are you rooting for the IRGC, which murdered American Marines in 1983 in Beirut? At what point do you say, you're a traitor? All of you are traitors.
Yeah. It's been going a lot lately with I swear, I think most of these people that are actually saying these are just bought and paid for by, and right or left. It doesn't really matter. Most of these people are actually, I think, is paid for. I know the Democratic side are buying influencers for like 6,000 to 7,000. I don't get any kind of money because I'm not big enough. Would I take it? Maybe. No, I wouldn't take it. I like, if one side fucks up, the other side fucks up too. I mean, a lot of people are actually saying on this, which reminds me, is we're not supposed to do this like this, but you know, Obama bombed a whole shit ton of people without consulting Congress. Clinton did it. George Bush was probably the only one that didn't do it all too much because it got congressional approval. But here's another thing, and this will be the last thing I actually put up here. And I will let y'all be. But this is what's happening now in Tehran. This was on a subway. Basically, that was the morality police in Tehran, and they were just they were forcing that woman out. Anyways, yeah, I said it in the beginning of the video. The congressional, I still have it up just in case I have to go back to it. And this is the U.S. congressional. The president serves as the commander-in-chief, and it actually was the War Powers Resolution of 1973. And yeah, you're absolutely right. He only needs like 60 days of approval. But here's the thing with that, and a lot of people don't really understand it. After the 60 days is up, it's the people that are there that have to be circled in. I did 40. My 40-day stilt in Kuwait was because it was only 45 days because I had to be rotated in. They wouldn't allow me to stay there a little bit longer because it wasn't congressionally approved. But that's what they told me at the time, so I don't really know. But yeah, thank you all that actually stayed with us for the hour that I was doing this. Thank you very much for Dean Tears Make Great Lube. And by the way, love the name. Oh, Dean Tears makes great lube. Okay, yeah, I get that. Yeah. But hopefully this resolves itself within a couple of more weeks with him bombing most of the military people there, getting rid of that regime, and hopefully we can have a little bit more peace in the Middle East because of it. All right, thank you, everybody. Love you guys. Goodbye.